Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's Fiber Broadband Association webinar. My name is David Norris. I'm the webinar producer here at FBA, and today's webinar is being brought to us by Proxito, and they have a guest from Compax Digital with us today as well. And so we're looking forward to that. And it's titled Scaling Field Services, the Strategic Advantage of Best-of-Breed Field Service Management Solutions and Seamless Integration. So before we jump in, I just want to go over a few quick housekeeping items. First of all, as attendees, you are in listen-only mode today. However, we do want this to be a conversation, so ask your questions. You can do so by typing them in the Ask a Question tool, which is located under the media player on the left-hand side of your screen. There's also quite a few resources in the resources tool, which is in the upper right. So you can go and view Proxito's past webinars. So we certainly encourage you to do that. There's more information about Proxito and also a white paper that they published there. So be sure to check out those resources when you get a chance. This will be available on demand. We usually have that up within 48 hours on the FBA website, and a link to that will be included in a follow-up email that you'll receive having registered for this event. Finally, we do have a brief feedback survey at the end of today's presentation. If you could take just a minute to do so, it's pretty short, but it helps us out quite a bit. So if you could take a moment for that, we would appreciate it. With that, let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll introduce our speakers here. So I'm pleased to have Maura McCabe, who is a senior account executive at Proxito, and joining Maura today is Robin Laliberte, who is a senior vice president of global sales at Compax Digital. And with that, I will let them say a bit more about themselves, but hand it over and get out of everybody's way. So there you go. Take it away, Maura.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for being here today. We really are excited to kind of get things started and have the opportunity to share these insights with you. Point of today is to have the strategic advantage of best-of-breed FSMs and seamless integrations. So to get started, I am going to start by introducing Proxito. So we've been around for 20 years. We are a best-of-breed field service management provider. So we are 100% focused in field service, completely third-party, configuration-based. We've been focused specifically on the optimization of both the back office of your teams, as well as the mobile capabilities within the field for your field service technicians. The heart of our business is the telecommunications customers, specifically in the fiber deployment and user installation and network maintenance. Typically, our customers for Proxito would be like an ISP, anywhere from 25K to 100K subscribers deploying fiber. Our whole business is really centered around increasing productivity, efficiency for field service technicians, which in turn increases customer satisfaction. We definitely are the most advanced FSM solution on the market per se. We are pursuing our goal to become the global leader in the cloud-based FSM solutions. So I'll kick it over to Robin to introduce Compax.
Hello, thank you, Maura. Yeah, let me introduce Compax. So Compax is a full BSS solution that we provide an end-to-end customer experience, from customer acquisition, customer management, product management, revenue management, and we support multiple verticals. We have around 900 plus engineers, and we are able typically to support very small startup to very large enterprise. And we are also having a solution that can support more complex and B2B, B2B2X scenario, and all kind of line of business. So we have broadband, wholesale, quad play, IPTV. We have also some business that is media business, publishing. I would say 75% of our business is on telecom, but we do also other business, such as EV charging, for example. We have a very powerful workflow engine, and our focus is really to have business automation across all the customer journey. That allowed to have like a multi-tenant, but also a omni-channel experience across all the different channels. And during this presentation, I will go more into details about how we integrate with solution and external solutions such as Proxito, and we have a use case from Tillman Fiber that we'll be presenting. Thank you, Maura.
Awesome. Cool. So what I'd like to also start is by putting into words what our learning objectives for today will be. Let's set the stage here. Telecom organizations are under immense pressure today to deliver faster, more reliable service while managing increasingly complex infrastructure and rising customer expectations. Many companies are still trying to meet these demands using traditional field service models or large monolithic systems that promise essentially to do it all. But often at the end, they fall short in specialized areas. These all-in-one platforms can create bottlenecks when it comes to agility, field visibility, and integrating with the wider operational stack, specifically when it comes to OSS, BSS systems that power the telecom's backend. That's where the best of breed approach comes in. It's not about replacing everything. It's about strategically choosing specialized tools that to do one thing, which is field service exceptionally well, and making sure that at the end of the day, they integrate seamlessly with your existing platforms. Today with Robin, we're going to be talking and exploring what makes traditional field service models, especially in telecom, so challenging, how best of breed FSM stacks up against best of suite or all-in-one solutions, why integration through open APIs is critical to long-term adaptability, and what to look for when selecting a solution that truly will scale with your operations. We hope that you'll come away from this session with a clearer understanding of how a connected, flexible ecosystem can transform telecommunications field operations. So let's get started. I'll kick it back over to Robin, who's going to kind of explain a little bit about the best of suite and best of breed approaches and how they differentiate.
Okay, thank you. So the best of suite is typically for BSS is providing a 360 view, having all of the different information from customer interaction, customer order, all of the trouble tickets, the revenue management, and everything all together. Versus the ERP will be more regarding about the compliancy, the standard, how to make sure that you are, following the law in the terms of the following countries, and you will have all your stream and revenue. Typically, it's not really agile, but you will have also the HR, the asset management, inventory. While the field service management will in fact gather the information from different systems in order to provide all the required data for the technician in order to fulfill the work. And obviously there is all of the different use case and journey that needs to be supported, but typically the tool will get the information. So this is why necessarily it does not need to reside in one of the different other domain. It's a tool that gathers the information in order to provide the right data to the customer. So in fact, you will have this is just an example, but you have the customer detail order, the previous installation that was done, and if there is something at specific location, you have the HR. So all of this is joining together inside the field service management, and this is where typically you are able to manage all of the different journey that is required for the installer. On this, Maura?
Yeah,
so next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of piggyback off of what Robin was talking about, I want to define what exactly best of breed FSM is specifically for telecommunications. So if you could look at the chart on the screen right now, when we talk about FSM customization, an all-in-one solution often limits you to its vendor's predetermined stack. This means that if you have any unique workflows or specific needs for your telecom operations, you're focused to adapt your processes to that particular software. This simply just does not fly in a dynamic industry like telecommunications. When you think about it, in stark contrast, a best-of-breed FSM provider is designed to integrate with your existing tools. It's built for purpose, offering deeper functionality in FSM that's a little bit more broader, less focused module from an all-in-one suite that simply cannot match. Consider the field technician user experience. We understand that they are at the heart of the business. An all-in-one solution FSM model is often clunky. Why? Because it's trying to be all the things to all different people. And the user interface for field staff isn't always their core focus. This leads to frustration, user error, and slower job completion. And a best-of-breed solution, however, is designed for a mobile first. It understands that your technicians are on the go, often in challenging environments, and need intuitive, fast, reliable tools right at their fingertips. This has a direct impact on technician efficiency, and satisfaction is immense. I'm going to go a little bit more into this particular challenges. So before we dive into why a best-of-breed approach is transforming field service, let's set the stage by looking at the critical challenges often facing telecom operators today when it comes to FSM. First, we have dynamic scheduling complexities. In telecom, we're not just dispatching technicians. We're dealing with constantly shifting network demands, urgent service disruptions, and customer expectations for immediate resolutions. Traditional rigid scheduling systems simply cannot keep up. This often leads to situations where 46% of service organizations struggle to meet their customer SLAs. Next, real-time visibility with dispersed teams. Telecom field technicians are often spread across vast geographical locations, working in environments with limited connectivity. This creates significant communication gaps between dispatch and the field. Without real-time updates on job progress, location, and equipment needs, resource misallocations and delays are inevitable. At Praxito, reports that points out that communication fragmentation is a key challenge, leading to an inability to adjust routes or respond promptly to unexpected problems. Next challenges I want to go into are, first, adaptable workflows and field reporting. Many telecommunications operators are stuck with outdated systems that force them to follow a one-size-fits-all workflow. This rigid approach does not reflect the complex reality of field service, where every job can be unique. When a process needs to change, say to incorporate a new safety protocol or a more efficient installation method, these old systems just don't have the flexibility to adapt. This leaves the field teams working around the system instead of with it. All-in-one systems offer rigid, static workflows that are impossible to adjust. Next up is a major challenge: fragmented performance reporting. With so many different tools and systems in play, from scheduling software to inventory trackers and legacy billing platforms, performance data is often scattered across multiple sources. This makes it nearly impossible to get a clear, unified view of what's happening in the field. And you can't easily correlate technician performance with customer satisfaction or first-time fix rates. It's difficult to make data-driven decisions. Without a single source of truth, operators struggle to identify bottlenecks, reward top performers, and truly understand their operational efficiency. Data is siloed and requires manual effort to combine for reporting. Finally, we have the challenge of scalability of field operations. Telecom is a dynamic industry and growth can happen pretty fast. Many legacy systems cannot handle a sudden increase in technicians, jobs, or new service offerings without a significant and costly overhaul. This lack of agility holds companies back from expanding into new markets or launching new products efficiently. The system itself becomes a barrier to growth rather than an enabler, forcing operators to patch together stopgap solutions that only create complexity down the line. Legacy systems are a bottleneck to growth and expansion. Robin?
Right. Yes. All right. So let me give you a brief view of the Compax stack, and now from there I will go over the details of how we are orchestrating the different systems and surrounding solution. So the solution is cloud native. It's as you see on the top, we are managing the different vertical. We are supporting all the different channel and journey. One of the key topic is the unified product catalog that we are using across the system So therefore, you do not have any synchronization of required between the product catalog. And we have also the business process engine that together with the product catalog and the business process engine, gather the information, orchestrate the journey, and we are integrating also with the additional solution. So the solution is very powerful, having a lot of different module and features, but also very easy in terms of making adaptation in order to fit your business process. Now, what is also very interesting is that we have like now a new addition to our portfolio that is the retail shop. So we have a solution that provide the support for all your shop, and therefore it's a omni-channel experience between the shop, the digital experience of the web, and also how we provide the communication to the customer. Our solution is also having the more network connectivity and online charging. Somebody is typing. Online charging that allow to have the real-time rating and PCF. This is more for mobile, but one of the interesting characteristic of our solution is that we are capable for the FTTH provider that are looking to provide additional mobile service bundle to their FTTH. Compax is completely able to support that kind of use case. And on top of it, with our sister company in US, we have an FCC license. So therefore, if you want to bundle and adding a mobile brand on top of your FTTH, we can do it. And all of this is orchestrated with the business process engine that you can do the customer acquisition and capture whatever product that is required by the customer. So now if I go to the integration, so it's much one level deeper, right, in terms of details, but we are having, for example, all of the workflow engine in the middle. We have a library of business process. We have a library of microservices interface. So therefore, every time that we are adding more feature or more project that we are integrating with solutions, for example, we have the Proxido integration with the business process and the microservices. So therefore, you have the benefit of enjoying the library and therefore take whatever is there, modifying if there is different business process that is required. At the end of the day, we typically integrate between 20 to 40 different systems, and we are orchestrating this in between the workflow engine and the integration, right? This is typically, this is having a direct impact in terms of efficiency with the customer. So very important, the workforce optimization is for sure more you are able to optimize the workforce, more installation per day, more customer satisfaction, customer that are served quickly. So we try to automate as much as possible all of the different business process. So if I go to the next slide. So this is the example of the Tillman fiber, where in fact we are having, for example, the information. This is go back to the previous slide that I talk about the ERP and the BSS and the field service management. So we are having a list of customer journey, customer transaction, we need to support is customer acquisition. So we have a list of different journey that we are having to orchestrate together with Proxido. And for example, the aerial drop, equipment swap, router setup, if there is an issue, troubleshooting, and they are also getting the information that we get, for example, from who is the right technician that needs to, so this is all the information that Proxido is having in order to deliver the information to the technician and to do the work as efficiently as possible. And if I go to the next slide, this is a bit more details, but at the end, Tillman is a provider in US that is probably one of the fourth major supplier of T-Mobile USA. They start initially on the East Coast, and they continue on additional states. Now, what is important for us as a solution, right? So we have the reseller, and we have, for example, the network, the field service, and all of the different service provisioning that needs to happen. So typically we need to orchestrate all of the different journey, having different business process. But what is also important as an open access model is that we need to fulfill the contractual obligation with the reseller. Each reseller will have his own agreement with the open access provider. So therefore, we need to manage maybe specific journey that the reseller is looking at. We need to manage also the different SLAs that they might have in order to coordinate with also all of the surrounding system. And we need to keep this information for auditing and to make sure that we fulfill the contract as required, but also that the customer is served according to the expectation. So this is very important, that not only that we are doing the orchestration, but we are also the record of all of the different transactions to make sure that we are also getting, invoicing the reseller according to what has been required and all of the different scenario. So this is one of the interesting project for us with Proxido. And maybe now I would like to have Maura to give a bit more details of how Proxido came into the picture in the context of Tillman Fiber.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good example of natural evolution of a business. So obviously, Tillman Fiber had been around before they used Proxido. Their previous solution was good at the time for the initial business model that they had, which was really more focused on project management, a lot more construction focused. But once they noticed a change in functionality with their business model, they realized that they would be dealing with appointments, different philosophies, which, ultimately initiated this particular business to invest in a new solution that could adhere to these needs, and which is ultimately what led them to decide to move with Proxido to integrate into Compax, because they needed a few different things in regards to, I can actually pull up this slide to kind of explain the unique benefits that we have. So for when I talk about different FSMs and how they fuel efficiency, specifically when it comes to best of breed, you really look down into the unique features and unique benefits that they can provide. And ultimately, at the end of the day, these are the main reasons that Tillman needed to decide to move forward with Proxido as a best of breed FSM. It comes down to AI powered route optimization. So taking a lot of the human interaction out of it when you're moving with, a lot of technicians over multiple different geographical locations, and you have different skill sets and capabilities and PTO, et cetera. Rather than having someone manage that, using the software to do that really saves them time at the end of the day. Putting the customer in the, first in regards to the appointment portal, making sure that you're providing the technician with an easy to use mobile app, and also having the ability to have a supporting configuration-based platform. These are really the key areas where you're going to see a difference versus an all-in-one solution. When it comes to a benefit side, these are a little bit more specialized compared to where you see, again, like how I talked about in the beginning, that when you're working with an all-in-one solution, they're not 100% focused on every area maybe that has the importance to you. So making sure that you can invest in something that, from a roadmap perspective, it's exclusively keeping up with trends, making sure that it's the best user experience, and also keeping up with those integration capabilities, I think is really where you'll see the biggest difference with open APIs, and making sure at the end of the day that not only are you optimizing the field, but you're necessarily sending and receiving the necessary information back from the main system of truth, which in this case was Compax. So that was just kind of like a rough overview into feature-wise of where you're going to see the difference. But it's definitely, you know, when you work with different customer journeys like this one, it's important to have an agile FSM solution because the profile of the work is changing constantly. Would you agree with that, Robin?
Yeah, completely. And one more item that I would like to add that was very important, for example, of Tillman, is that you want to have, they have a lot of different contractors from different regions. They want to make sure that they get the best contractor for their business. And they want to make sure that the contractor is having an easy life. The contractor can do as many work as possible per day. And they want to be paid quickly. So if everything is really automated to end to end, it's allowed to track everything, to clear the job, and to make sure that the contractor are satisfied as well as the end customer, right? Quick turnaround. It's super important, and I think this was one of the drivers for Tillman Fiber.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. As we kind of wrap up here, the key things that we'd like to just kind of reiterate is just focusing on the difference between all-in-one versus best of breed. And I know we've said it over and over and over again, but there is a really big importance behind it, specifically when it comes to your people, because at the end of the day, your people are your biggest assets, and making sure that you're providing them with something that's going to empower them and make them engaged is ultimately going to provide a really good experience for the customer. So it's proven that with a standalone best of breed like Praxido, being able to integrate into existing systems is really going to have a strong focus on the customer experience, making sure that you have full visibility, two-way dynamic communication and dynamic scheduling. Robin, if you want to touch on the BSS side.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the pre-integration, the modular solution, but also the pre-integration and to have the 360 view of a customer is very important, but it's also how we are easily able to integrate with the different surrounding system. And having standard open API, it's very important. Smooth transition into the different workflow and the different feedback and the information and the two-way communication between the system is super important. And having the real-time information for call center, the real-time information for the installer, and also to be able to inform the customer that what is the status of the work. And if there is a rescheduling to be done, that we are able to reschedule and to reschedule also the work maybe of sending the installer somewhere else in order to make sure that we are not wasting any time and be able to serve. So I think we have like a suite integration together, and the best of suite and best of breed. Best of suite for BSS is always good, but best of breed for field service management is also fantastic. So I think this is a positive use case that we are having together.
Yeah, I hope that we continue to get more joint clients and have the opportunity to have other organizations, that were facing maybe similar problems have the same solutions that Tillman has had, since we started working with you. So I think it's a very exciting time. And I think it's really important to understand the opportunities that lie when you're able to, put together two really great platforms that at the end of the day is just going to create a better experience for you and your customer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Shall we go to Q&A, David?
Just kicking things off. Can you hear me?
We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
It's a little low.
Okay. Let's see.
There you go.
Any better at all? All right, great. Sorry about that. And let's see. So starting off, what are the expected savings from implementing a best of breed FSM? Do you have public metrics you could share?
Yeah, so pretty much the advantage of implementing a best of breed software like Praxido is being configuration based. It allows us to have a faster turnaround time simply because the fact that it's out of the box and off the shelf. There is no product development needed to implement our platform. So you can kind of use it or look at it as like an additional puzzle piece to what you're already doing and as an add-on to your existing tech stack. So on average, we've actually been recognized by Gartner's Magic Quadrant for this since 2016 of having the shortest implementation time in the market, which allows our customers to have a faster return on investment. On average, our implementations, roughly go around 12 weeks to configure, set up, test, roll out, train your end users. So the savings that come with that is a faster ROI, ease of data migration, and ultimately we want you guys to be fully autonomous in the platform. So just to give you an example of ease of growth and organic growth that we've seen is I had a customer that actually signed on with Praxido initially with like 35 users. And 2 years later, they're already up to 150, and they had no, issues with that growth within the existing implementation from 2 years ago, because you can tweak it as you go. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you also will see, with route optimization, there's upwards of 30% in time savings as well. So those are a couple different of the areas that we are able to kind of bring you some expected savings.
So, and related question is somebody's asking if it is a possible, is transformation migration possible from a legacy full stack suite?
Yeah, so maybe I will take this one, Maura. So
okay,
what is very important when you are migrating the solution and you are migrating also the field service? So you might have like 2 different field service solution for a different area. And so what we did, and the solution that for now we prefer, but there is not like one solution fit all, but what we like is, or you have an expansion of a market and you're starting with this, you do your transformation, and after that, when this is tuned, you are migrating market by market. You do not want to have, same workforce having 2 different systems for workforce management. So typically that's what we do. We like to do it by market. And this is the best option possible. But as I said, it depends of the different, solution that an operator may have, right?
Great. So we have a question specifically about the Tillman solution. They're asking, was the Tillman solution a direct API integration, or did Praxido provide microservices? Hidden in that is who drove the application flow. Was it orchestrated? Was the orchestration within Compax, or was it within the APIs at Praxido?
So we did the microservices integration to connect also with the different API of Praxido. And we get the customer journey coming from, well, most of them coming from the reseller, but also could be from trouble ticket. So typically when we are sending the information, we are sending, here's the type of work order that is required. And Praxido will decide what is the type of resources and the location and the capacity that they have for a specific location. So this is the typical integration that we have in case of Tillman.
Great. And we have another question in the queue here, but if you haven't gotten your questions in, feel free to type those in. We do have some time for additional questions if you have them. So somebody has asked, is Compax a fully integrated BSS OSS solution?
Compax is a fully integrated BSS OSS solution where all the different modules were built based on the same framework. However, it does not mean that you need to take everything from Compax. So we have example of that we are doing more customer order and customer acquisition, and we have other project that we are doing more the revenue management, but the solution is is modular, but also having a full extent of the scope. So it's not also that, so we are flexible inside, the approach. It depends on what the customer wants in terms of a replacement or ecosystem. Okay.
Oh, David, I think we lost you again.
I'm sorry?
I think we lost your audio again.
Oh,
Sorry about
I'm not
that.
sure what's going on there. Apologies for that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I guess it's a very directional mic today, but yeah, sorry. But I think that actually wraps up the questions that we have here. But I just wanted to throw it back over to you, Maura and Robin, to see if you had any final words or wanted to wrap things up before we get into some announcements.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. Obviously, we appreciate you taking time out of your work day to listen to us. Big key takeaways from today is if you're interested in learning more about the solution and potential fits of working with either Compax or Praxido, I believe David is going to include our information. So we're happy to touch base with you and talk to you offline to see if it would be a good fit for your particular business.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Maura.
And go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time today. Happy to exchange with you any question or challenge that you may have for us. We'll be happy to brainstorm and to give you some other case study and demonstration together with Praxido or any other scope you may have. We'll be happy to support you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And we did have another question come in. Somebody's asking how they can connect with Compax, and the answer is you just did. We'll have copies of all these questions. They'll have your contact information there. However, also in the survey, if you want somebody to reach out to you directly, that's one of the questions in the post-webinar survey. So if you just say yes, we will be sure to get in touch with you and connect you to the right people. And with that, I just want to thank Praxido and Compax, and of course, Maura and Robin for taking time to put this together and providing us with this information today. Really appreciate your insight and expertise. And of course, want to thank all of you for joining as well. Before we sign off, I do want to call some attention to some resources that we do have. Praxido and FBA, we've done a number of webinars in the past. I encourage you to check these out. If you go to the resources tool, which is in the upper right-hand corner, you'll have a link there to a nice page on Praxido's site where they have all of these webinars featured, or you can, of course, find those on the FBA website as well. And be sure to check out the other information, including the white paper that we have in those resources. And we will include links to all of those in the following email, too. So with that, just a couple quick FBA announcements to wrap this up. So first of all, we're well into our Regional Fiber Connect season. We're about halfway through. We're going to be in Toronto in August, on August 19th, so next week. And after that, we'll be in Spokane. We'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona in October. And finally, we're wrapping up the year in Kansas City, Missouri in November. So if you happen to be in any of those areas, please do take this opportunity to join us. It's a great opportunity to participate in an event that's very collaborative, a little bit smaller, a great way to collaborate with your peers and have those conversations with people in the industry. So I encourage you to participate there. Also, if you're not already familiar with our Fiber Optic Path program, this is FBA's certification and training program for future fiber technicians. And we are always looking for support on this program. So if you're interested in learning more or wish to volunteer to teach or help in some other way, we'd love to hear from you. And you can scan that QR code. There's also a link in the resources if you'd like to learn more. So definitely check that out as well. And finally, I'll just invite you to participate in future webinars. So go out to our site, see what's out there. Tomorrow and every Wednesday morning, we have our Fiber for Breakfast series featuring Gary Bolton, our CEO and president here at FBA, where he speaks with industry luminaries about different trends within the industry. So I encourage you to check those out as well. And with that, we'll just wrap things up here. But once again, Robin, Maura, thank you. And thank you to Praxido and Compax Digital. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.